Hi, this is Satirs with day 28 of the 30-day video challenge. And in today's video, I want to talk about 5 tips to improve your sales. Tip number 1 is to create rapport with your prospects. When you're creating rapport with your prospects, it's quite important to take note of how they behave, take note of their level of speech. Are they excited? Are they quiet? Are they um a bit hyper or whatever? And subconsciously mirror their behavior. Okay, so if they're really excited, don't talk to them really slowly, and you know talk to them with excitement, right? Talk to them on the same sort of level, and behave on a level similar to the way they're behaving. Okay, because if you're really off from their behavior and you're coming from a different point of view, that will immediately put a spanner in the works of creating rapport and being able to actually get them to buy off you at a later stage. Also, if you empathize with them, you could empathize with them, and you could show them examples of how you understand them and what they're going through. So, for example, if they're having a problem, if they're having a problem with a relationship, they're having a problem with a product, they're having a problem with a service, you could basically tell them how at some stage when you bought that product, you had problems with it, and how you overcame, how you overcame them, and how you could help them to overcome the things. Okay, so tip number 2 is listen to your customer. Okay, and find out what they're looking for, and then show them how your product or service can help them to actually solve their problem. Okay, people are out there looking for solutions to their problems. So they have a problem, they want something to solve it. So instead of trying to talk to them or trying to sell them something, and trying to throw something down their throat, just be quiet and actually listen to your customer and find out what they're actually looking for. Because once you find out what the actual problem is, or what problem they need solved, then you can figure out for yourself if your product or service will help them to solve it, or you can figure out how your product or service can help them to solve it, and then you can actually show them how your product or service can help them to solve their problem. And once they see that you can help them to solve their problem, they will be more willing to buy your product or service. Tip 3 is when you're talking to people, okay, or when you're selling a product or service, state the facts, okay, and not your opinions when selling a product or service. People's unconscious mind can pick up on things like that, So if you're stating a fact, and you have a reason why you can state that fact, um, then people will believe it, and that will make people, want to buy your product or service. So if the car you're selling, won the fastest car in the world competition, okay, and you tell them, this car won the fastest car in the world competition, you're now stating a fact, right, and not an opinion. Okay, whereas if you're, telling them, that your Mini goes faster than a Porsche 911 Turbo, right? And you haven't actually tested it. You're giving them your opinion, okay? And people will not believe your opinion, and even if they consciously want to believe your opinion, their subconscious mind often will not believe your opinion. And when that happens, there becomes a conflict there, and their subconscious mind is then telling them, oh, I don't want to continue with this. you know, and it can stop you getting the sale. So by actually being straight about what you're selling and stating the actual facts and not your opinions, it just makes it much easier for you to actually sell your product or service. Tip 4 is to remember that your unconscious mind actually works 120 times faster than your conscious mind. Okay, so it can tell when someone is lying. Okay, so if you are stating facts when selling to a customer or prospect, then make sure the facts are true and they're not made up. Okay, because even in that person's conscious mind, if they can't remember the answer, right? If they can't remember the answer, if you state a fact and they maybe can't remember the answer consciously, their subconscious mind could actually, there's a very good chance that their subconscious mind already knows that answer and will know that there's a conflict of interest if you're telling them something which isn't true. Okay, so make sure whenever you're stating the facts to customer to make sure that those facts are true. Tip 5 is sell products and services that provide at least 10 times the value to your clients of what you're selling. Okay, if you can show your customers, if you can show your customers without a doubt, if you can show your customers that your product or your service will provide them at least 10 times what they're actually paying you, it becomes much easier to sell the product or service. Okay, and when you're actually selling them that product or service, you're actually doing those people a favor, right? Because you're actually taking them, you know, from level 1 up to level 10. Okay, you're moving them up levels in their income, levels in whatever it is you're trying to help them with, you know, by giving them 10 times the value of what you're actually selling it for. They're going to be able to say, whoa, you know, this person's brilliant, what else have they got that I can buy? Okay, so those are the 5 tips to improve your sales. I hope you found them useful, and I will see you again in the next video tomorrow.